Decisions. What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here for Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC, welcoming you to yet another episode of Retro Rich's Random Ramblings. Yeah, that's right. We're back in not necessarily the speculation zone, but we are in the random thoughts and ramblings zone. I want to answer a question that has both been presented directly to me and from me. And that question is Rich getting an Evercade Alpha? So come on to me with this rambling journey, and we will try to answer that question, shall we? So there's a lot of cool things about the Evercade Alpha. Before we start answering some questions, of which there will be 5, I'll go through 5 questions before I make my final determination. I just want to go over the product again, the product offering. So we've got these 2 really cool looking countercade, bar top cade, whatever you want to call it, looking things. Got some really awesome stuff. You got the Evercade slots in there. Very awesome design. I really enjoy the look of it. I do. I really do. And it's pretty cool, and it's very intriguing, right? You know, you look at it and you're like, man, that would be really cool to have on a shelf, right? You know, it would just be really just awesome to just kind of look at, right? And you know, of course, it's an Evercade product, so I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh well, maybe it's a thing that I'm gonna do. Maybe I'm just gonna hit that button and hit the pre-order. But for whatever reason, the day came, right? The announcement happened. The hype was there. It was real. It was palpable. I could feel it. Then the day came to hit the button, and I hesitated. I hovered over the button. I didn't hit it yet. I was like, that's not the Rich I know. The Rich I know hits the button and goes, give me that thing, Funstock. Put it in the box and ship it to me. I don't care what it is. It says Evercade on it. Boom. Let's go. But I didn't do it. I didn't hit the button. So I've been asking myself ever since that day, why haven't I hit the button yet? So let's go and start answering some questions, shall we? And we will actually also be able to answer this very important question.
But why?
That's right. We're going to answer the question, but why? So what about the price factor? Is it really that important to me and that much of a big thing that I just can't do it? Yes and no is the answer to that question. Now, price factor isn't as big a deal as some might have it to be. I don't think that there isn't value inside of the price point. I really do think that this is not necessarily a value buy. It's not an inexpensive product by any means, but there's value built into the price. The price offering, the price ask isn't so outrageous that you're like, okay, well, that's just a premium product. There's just no way, none of that stuff. For me, this is my personal opinion. Remember, you're on Retro Rich's Random Ramblings. We're not on a news line. This is you and me and my stories, right? So I don't think it's actually that bad as far as that thing. Now what it comes to is question 3, and we're going to get to that in a second. So, does the price factor in? Does the price get to me when it gets to the point where, in order to have the complete Evercade experience, see those 2 on there? In order to have the complete Evercade experience, you can't, it's like Lay's. You can't just have 1. You got to have 2 if you want it all. And that's a thing. That's a thing. But first and foremost, though, let's just say I don't care about that. I just want 1. Where am I going to put this thing? I've got my ALU right there. I've got my Legends Mini right here, right next to me. All right, I'm going to try to not knock things over, and I'm going to grab this thing. Boom. I've got my Legends Gamer Mini right here, and I got an ALU over there. Okay, I know where to put these. Where am I going to put the Alpha? Where am I putting it? I don't know. I could put it in the living room, I guess. I could put it in wherever. I was thinking about, well, if I'm going to get this thing, I'm going to put it in the office. But, okay, now I've got one in the office at work. But then where is it going to live? I have to make a cart for it. I could put it at the end of my desk, maybe. Yeah, I could. I could put it at the end of the desk, actually facing the people that would sit at the desk for a meeting so they could, like, play or whatever. If I have to look up something, I don't know. Maybe might be convincing myself on something in a little bit. But but it's like, but where do I just don't know where to put it. Here, right? There's another question that leads into that, right? So another usability thing that we'll get to in a second. And it's just, I just don't know, right? Now I'm confused. It's like, why? The price factor isn't as bad, but then in order to get them, and I need two of them. There's always another factor. Like, okay, where am I going to put the thing? Oh, I could solve it for this one, but can I solve it for two? No, I can't put two of them somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. So that's the next question. Why, oh, why, Blaze, are there two of them? Why? Why are there two? I just don't understand. Like, if there was one, I don't think I'd be making this video. I don't think I'd be in this conundrum. But there are two of them. And I know there are people that are excited. And you know what they're saying?
Oh, there's two of them.
That's exactly what they're saying. They're like, oh, yeah, there's two of them. I'm not saying that, though. I'm like, what? Why are there two? Why can't there just be one? There's one ALU. There it is. It's sitting right there. Yeah, they made revisions of it and all that kind of stuff. But there's one. It's got generic branding. You know, and you can plug other things into it to expand and do whatever and have a system around it, like kind of like an Evercade, like a VS. You can get one VS. Yes, you can get the limited edition and the regular edition and the special editions and all that kind of stuff. Yes, I understand that, but there's right away, it's like you introduce the one thing and then maybe the limited thing. If this was the Capcom one that had all of these games in it, and then another one that just said Evercade Alpha had Katie on the side, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Because then I have the ability to choose. Okay, I can get the one that doesn't have the pack-ins if I don't want the pack-ins. Or I can get the one that has the pack-ins because that's the limited edition, special awesome edition or whatever. Or if you wanted to have the two, have the one be just Evercade branded, have the one be Capcom branded, and then you can get the Capcom games if you wanted the extra Capcom games. Kind of like an EXP situation. But they're all on one. But they split the library, and it's like, now my head is just, it's spinning. It's completely spinning, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. Like, because now I have to, if I want the thing, I'm the collector guy, right? If I want the thing, I've got to get the Street Fighter one because I want Alpha 1, Alpha 2, Alpha 3, and Puzzle Fighter because it's awesome. They're awesome games. And I want the Mega Man one because they got all the other things that I didn't play, Knights of the Round and Mega Man Power Battle 1 and 2. Like, I want to play those games. You know, yes, I have an ALU. People are in the comments already. You got the ALU, just play them. Yes, I can. But I want to play them the Evercade way because I know that the Evercade way, sometimes they put work into those ROMs. Sometimes they put a little more effort and make it work with their equipment. And I want that. I really do. I want to feel how Blaze puts together this product, and I have the little buttons that I can hit, and I can feel the difference of the Sanwa controller, and I can feel all that. I want it. I want it. But I go back to this. Blaze.
Why?
Why did you do that? Why? And I think that's the one that kills me the most. This is the one that kills me the most. Is the why are there two of them question? Because I just can't with it. But anyway, let's go to the fourth question that tied to the second. Where am I going to put this thing? Well, if I had a TV nearby, And there was such a thing as an HDMI. By the way, where is it? I could plug it into the television next to wherever. I could probably find a place in the living room if there was an HDMI, and I make a little stand for it, and then the kids could go up and play, like while they're, just doing whatever. And then there's like, oh, well, now it's time to kick it up a notch. Let's go on the big screen and do multiplayer stuff. And then that's pretty cool too. Yeah. Yes, I know. People are like, oh, you could just have the VS for that. Yes, I could have the VS for that. But as we recall, the VS, I needed a special adapter in order to have the VS hooked up to my television, because then my Apple TVs would stop working because the HDMI CEC connector, or whatever the acronym is, that made the remote control pass-through thing for the HDMI. It doesn't work without one of these adapters hooked up through the VS, because the VS isn't compatible. But it's like, that's another killer move. It's very Evercade as well. Like, you've got a thing and you can hook up to the TV. Every single model except for the R had the ability to hook it up to a television. It was like a core feature of the Evercade. And like, man, where is it? And yes, I understand there's a lot of the speculation out there that's like, well, it's because in order to get the license and get the hot games and the cool things, they don't want you to hook it up to the TV because reasons. I can understand that. And it's not a huge deal, because I can get over just the HDMI. I'm having trouble with number 3. It's me personally having trouble with number 2, and I really don't care about number 1. And then there's this, and then there's the final question. What about the collection? So now I'm in that quandary, right? I am the guy who has all of the Evercades. I own a standard handheld OG. The only one I don't have is the limited edition OG handheld. I've got the limited edition VS, a Duke VS, and a regular VS. I've got a regular EXP. I got the limited EXP, and I'm ordering an exp-r. I may probably wind up getting a VSR and donating it to the school, but by extension, I'll wind up owning it anyway. And I've got every single cartridge that has been released, sometimes in duplicate or more. Is this going to be the one that breaks the chain? And is this going to be the product that I don't buy? And that's one of those things where I'm like, it wouldn't even be a question. Again, this video wouldn't exist without question number 3. It wouldn't exist because it wouldn't have mattered. If there was 1 unit, it's done already. But there are 2. There are 2 in order to get all of the games. And it's the games that I'm really collecting. I'm collecting all the different ways to play the games because, my second VS is at work. The other one is also at work, but I let the kids play with it. I've got EXPs and handhelds all up the wazoo because I've got kids and everyone wants to play. So I got extra ones so they can play. Not a big deal. But with this, it's like a thing. It's a substantial piece of hardware that I don't necessarily have the room for 2 of them. But the collector in me says I need to get both if I want all the games, because there's no other option. And it's just killing me. Here I am. We were talking about it in the reaction video for the announcement of the product, and I hemmed and hawed about it on I think 2 separate Evercasts. And here we are again with the same thing. Do I think it hurts the collection? Yes and no. Because, if you don't have the alpha, you don't get that piece of hardware. And sometimes people don't count the EXP pack-in games as games. So the Capcom collection, until it's real, until it's in my hand, until I can go, I've got the Capcom collection, it doesn't matter. And I get that too. Because that might save me from like, it maybe doesn't really, really matter. But it hurts me a little bit, because it's one of those things where I'm like, now I want both. because I want the alpha fighting games, and I want the other ones. I want the Mega Man games and Knights of the Round. The others I don't necessarily care about. I've got another way of playing. Yes, it's not super, but there is Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition already on the XP. I can play it there. That's fine. Puzzle Fighter, I really want. But if I had to trade, because I can play Puzzle Fighter in other places, I literally own a copy. It's sitting right over here somewhere, staring me in the face. Where did it go? I don't know. Where did my copy go? Is this it? No, that's Warzone. It's here somewhere. I have a copy. It's one of those trust me bro moments, but I do have a copy of Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo for the PlayStation. It's dusty, but I've got one. There it is. I can play that, and that's fine, right? And yeah, I can go out and get the alpha games and all that stuff, but but now we have honest to goodness fighting games, and they're locked to one cabinet. Yes, you can play 2-player, but you can't play it on the TV with friends. It's so frustrating. And so as a fan, I want to celebrate that. But it's so frustrating to not have the ability to experience all those things the way you'd want to, right? Because Evercade does give you the ability to kind of experience every one of these games however you want to, on the go, on the TV, on your capture card while streaming with friends. All of these things are possible with Evercade. And yes, now with the countertops, you can also do more of an intimate kind of thing and then experience the games that way. But especially games that are big, like the bigger fighting games, almost demand a bigger screen so you could play with friends together. And I know that there's tons of reasons why they're not happening. There's tons of logistical reasons that are not Blaze's fault, even that these are not happening. So I get all of that, but it's still I just want to be able to make the decision. But it's not like I can't make the decision. I'm just facing the mirror and spent 17 minutes looking at this mirror image of myself talking to you guys to come to the conclusion that, well, is Rich getting an Evercade Alpha? No, Rich is not getting an Evercade Alpha. And I know it's anticlimactic climactic to get there, but it's but that's where I can't do it. It's just everything breaks my logic center, my collecting center, everything. It just breaks. Because if I wind up breaking down and getting one of them, right, then I'll always want the other one. And then eventually we'll wind up trying to go and get one. But I might actually then be disappointed because now I've got these two things that I'm barely going to play because it doesn't have the options that I want in it in order to experience the games the way I want to experience the games. And that is the most sad part about this entire thing. I think for many arcade enthusiasts, this is an awesome product. And I think this is a really cool way of them expanding their market share to those individuals that love the arcade scene and love to collect their things and put up, have room to put up their own mini arcades. I think this is a slam dunk, and I do not begrudge Blaze for doing any of it. However, as someone that has been in the Blaze Evercade ecosystem from the start, it feels like this product, I almost agree with my buddies over on the Evercast. I can't remember who said it first, whether it was Ed or Crow, but somebody mentioned the fact that why wasn't this just a Hyper Megatech product? And I understand maybe Hyper Megatech isn't for that either, right? But that would have made me feel all right. I think that would have made me feel all right if this is not called Evercade. If this wasn't an Evercade product, I think this video doesn't need to exist. But they called it an Evercade, and I think this is the one time where the hardware doesn't speak to the core mission of the Evercade, right? Because as an Evercade Alpha, what is the Evercade-ness of the Alpha? Where is the discovery factor? Okay, you can have the ability to put in the cartridges. Okay, but almost every other Evercade product does that. Okay. Where is the convenience factor and like the hidden feature things like that you wouldn't expect in any other thing, but somehow is in Evercade? HDMI outs on handhelds. Ability to upgrade. Well, it does have the ability to do the upgrade stuff. Secrets and hidden games, I'm sure they're going to be in alpha. But the other thing is like then easily understandable like feature sets. A VS is there. You get the VS because you want to play with your friends on a big screen. You get the handheld because you want some stuff on the go, but you can also hook it up as you're convenient to like a bigger screen or do whatever, right? And I know the exp-r is not going to be able to do that, but the other handhelds are still available in other places. You can go and find them. It's not like they're gone. Just not on fun stuff. But then the alpha is like specifically hyper tuned for one type of customer, and that's the type of customer that wants these arcade cabinets so they could have many of them and display them all with their cool neon lights and all that other stuff. It seems like they built it very specifically to be a niche product for a niche audience. And I don't think that makes it Evercade. I just don't. It doesn't. It's the piece that doesn't fit in the puzzle for me. But that's just me, right? That's just some guy on the internet with a face and glasses and headphones talking to you, right? But I think that's just one of those things, right? What do you guys think? I've been talking for 20 minutes. You guys get down there in the comments and you let me know what you think about Evercade Alpha and whether or not you have decided to get one, whether or not you decided or whether or not you think this is a product that actually fits in the ecosystem. Like, I kind of want to let's get into that conversation, like a little speculative kind of stuff. But I also want to know, are you with me on the but why? Are you with me on that? I don't know. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But, oh, man. It's tough. It's tough to be the guy that's collecting everything in Evercade and then make a conscious choice to be like, well, they put out new product, and my instinct is buy new product, but I'm not going to buy new product. It's one of those weird, it's a weird moment. I'm still feeling weird about it. It's more than 2 weeks later, and I'm still like, man, it's rough. They better announce some cartridges because I want to throw money at the screen at them. I do, but I right now I just can't. I can't do that. But to prevent me rambling on anymore, it is time now to thank the people that are awesome in this community here at Bacon Ice Cream, and that is the members of the Good Times Club. Let's thank them right now. EverCanadian, Crimson Cross, George Games, Chris Westerman, Fan of Fiction, Skeletrex, Later Jim, Papa Pete, the Intellivision Gamer, Ken LaCure, Mr. Shua, John Willie, Gunsy20, and Immortal Sojourn. Thanks so much for your support of the channel. Thanks much for being awesome members of the community, pushing me to do good things, having awesome talks on our community posts and our Good Times Club videos, all the exclusive stuff that we're doing. Thank you guys so much for your support. Like, even like sending stuff out, like it's awesome, you guys. I really do appreciate every single one of you in the Good Times Club. You want to be a member of the Good Times Club and you're not, there's a join button. You can hit the join button, come on in, get some cool stuff, get some exclusive videos, all that kind of stuff. You can hang out with us. It's an awesome time. Everyone's a good member of this little thing that we've got going on here. And if not, that's cool. Leave a like, leave a dislike, leave all sorts of stuff. Hit the button that says subscribe, of course, if you want to see more of this content. But until next time, we will catch you next time for some more good times and definitely more ramblings. I'm Rich, and we will see you later. Take it easy, guys. rtfc.baconicecream.com.